So, when you think of astrology, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Is it those funny memes about your sun sign? Or maybe, blaming everything that goes wrong on Mercury? Yeah, a lot of us have been there. But behind all that, there's this incredibly deep, ancient system. So, okay, let's actually dive in and see what's really going on with the planets.
Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with the one and only Mercury retrograde. Then we'll meet the main characters in this whole cosmic drama. After that, we'll get into how they're grouped, how their power can totally shift depending on where they are, and, this is the cool part, how it all connects to psychology. By the end, you'll see how all these different threads weave together to tell a pretty amazing story.
All right, let's kick things off with the one everybody loves to talk about. It's basically become slang for a day gone wrong. But what if I told you its real meaning is way more interesting and actually kind of useful? I mean, it's a legit question, right? Your Wi-Fi dies, you send a text to the wrong person, you get into a weird argument, and suddenly everyone's like, ugh, Mercury is in retrograde. But what is actually going on? Both, up in the sky and in the system of astrology itself. Okay, first, let's get the science out of the way. A planet in retrograde isn't actually flying backwards in its orbit. It's really just an optical illusion. It's kind of like when you're on a super fast train and you look over at a slower one, and for a second it looks like it's moving backward. That's all it is, astronomically speaking. But in astrology, that apparent backward motion carries this really specific symbolic weight.
So here's the thing most people miss. It's not just about tech glitches and chaos. Instead of trying to push new stuff forward, the energy is all about turning inward. Think of it like a cosmic pause button. It's asking you to slow down, to review, rethink, and resolve things you've already started. It's meant to be a time for refinement, not just total frustration.
Okay, so if Mercury is just one part of this whole equation, who are the other players? This is where we get into the real heart of astrology. The easiest way to think about it is that the planets are the actors, and each one has a very specific role to play. First up, we have the star of the show. Literally, the sun. This is your core identity. It's your ego, your basic personality, your life force. If your life were a movie, the sun is the director, the one calling the shots and defining who the main character really is.
Then we've got the moon. The moon is your private inner world. It's all about your emotions, your gut feelings, those deep-seated habits that you just do without even thinking. It's your reactive, subconscious self.
And hey, look who's back, our buddy Mercury. Its real job in this system is to rule your mind. It's all about how you think, how you talk, and how you process information. So now you can see why its retrograde phase is all about rethinking and recommunicating, right? It all connects. Next up is Venus. Venus is all about connection, harmony, and pleasure. It has everything to do with what you find beautiful, who you're attracted to, and your whole vibe when it comes to relationships. It's the planet that defines your values, both in love and in life. And of course, where you have Venus, you have to have Mars. This is your engine. This is the planet of pure action, of desire, of passion. It's all about how you go after what you want and how you stand up for yourself. It's your get up and go.
And this is just a perfect, simple way to understand how Venus and Mars work together. It's like a dance. Venus is that initial spark, It's what you like, who you're attracted to. But Mars is what you do about it. It's the action you take to go get what Venus wants. It's this incredible interplay between desire and drive.
So now that we've met the main cast of characters, let's zoom out a little. Astrologers actually group the planets into different categories. And this gives us a much richer, more layered way of looking at ourselves. So on one side, you have the personal planets. Those are the ones we just covered. They move pretty fast across the sky, and they paint this really detailed picture of your unique, day-to-day personality. But then you've got the transpersonal planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. These guys move super slowly. They're seen as these big, generational forces that work beyond just one person's ego, connecting us to these huge collective shifts. Okay, get ready, because here's where another fascinating layer comes in. See, it's not enough to just know what a planet does. Its actual strength and how it works changes, like a lot, depending on what zodiac sign it happens to be in. This whole idea is called dignities and debilities. Now, don't let this table freak you out. It's actually pretty straightforward. It basically shows where a planet is at its strongest, that's in its domicile, which is its home, and exaltation, where it's like an honored guest. And it shows where it's at its weakest, in detriment and fall. So just look at Mars for a second.
It's at home and super strong in Aries, but it's in a way more challenged spot in Cancer.
And I absolutely love this analogy because it just makes it all click. A planet in its domicile is comfortable, it's strong, it can do its job easily, just like you feel in your own home. But a planet in detriment, it's like an unwelcome house guest. It's in a weird environment, it's uncomfortable, and so its influence gets weakened or has to come out in a more awkward way.
Okay, let's make this real. Take a look at this chart. See that symbol for Venus? It's sitting in the sign of Libra. Well, since Venus rules Libra, that means it's in domicile. It has home turf advantage. Its qualities of beauty and harmony are super strong. But then look at Jupiter. It's in Gemini. That's a sign where it's in detriment, which means its big, expansive energy might be a little trickier to tap into. So we've got these actors, we know they have specific jobs, and we know their strength can change. But what's the point of all this? What's the real-world application? Well, for a lot of people today, astrology isn't about telling the future. It's a powerful language for understanding the human psyche.
And this, right here, is a total game changer for how many people approach astrology. The birth chart stops being a crystal ball that predicts your fate and becomes more like a mirror, or maybe even a map, a symbolic guide to the psychological wiring, the drives, and the potential you were born with.
And when you look at it this way, you start to see these amazing parallels with psychology. A really tough planetary alignment might feel a lot like one of those deep-seated complexes Freud talked about. Carl Jung's whole idea of archetypes, it fits perfectly. Mars is the warrior archetype, Venus is the lover. The point here isn't to diagnose yourself, but to find a new vocabulary for your own inner world, a new way to frame your strengths and your challenges.
All right, it's time to bring it all home. We've looked at the planets, their different power levels, and what they might mean psychologically. So how does this whole system come together to create a one-of-a-kind story for each person? And that's really the core of it. A natal chart, which is just a snapshot of the sky the moment you were born, is basically a story waiting to be told. You've got the planets, who are the actors. They're placed in the zodiac signs, which are the specific roles they're playing. And their dignities tell you how much power or clout that actor has in the overall story. All of it weaves together to create this incredibly complex and unique psychological narrative.
So, all of this leaves us with the big question, doesn't it? Is this system a map of a destiny that's already written in the stars, or is it just a really powerful symbolic mirror reflecting the deep, complicated inner workings of our own minds, just giving us a language to understand ourselves better? That's the real conversation at the heart of modern astrology.